Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at doing some laminates here in the shop. We don't do a ton of it on video, so we are going to cover how to make an awesome laminate into the Shadderbait. This is kind of a spinoff of the Crush City Gizzard Shad color that we're going to be taking a look at today. I'm going to give you the recipes on how to make this color, how to get some nice clean laminate lines into this bait, and some tips and tricks that I've kind of learned along the way that has helped the laminate process a whole lot and really solved a lot of the headaches I was dealing with. So stay tuned for that. But this is the original Crush City Gizzard Shad. I like my version just a little bit more transparent, and that's exactly what this is. Great Gizzard Shad color. I'm going to give you the recipe for that, and we'll do some laminates into the awesome Epic Bait Molds Shadderbait. Along with that, at the end of this video, I'm going to put in some test footage. I made this powered GoPro pole just to be able to run my action camera without having to constantly change the batteries. And I went and fished yesterday, did a little bit of fishing, didn't catch anything crazy. But at the same time, I want to go ahead and share the footage. And you guys can tell me if you like the footage on this pole, if you want a combination of this pole and maybe a chest harness. And I can figure all that out. But I haven't even looked at the footage yet. But we're going to throw it in the end of this video, and you guys can kind of tell me what you think about the angles and maybe about the sound, and see if it's something that we want to keep using or if we want to alter it a little bit. But I'm going to throw it in the end of this video kind of as some bonus fishing. We're not actually fishing the bait we're making today, but it'll give you guys an idea on kind of what we are planning on doing in the future. So I'm going to get some colors hot. We'll give you the recipes for those, and I'm going to show you some tips real quick to have a better laminate. Here's a little up-close color comparison on the baits we make versus the bait that Crush City makes. You can tell on the bottom color that I've went quite a bit more translucent, and I wanted a more translucent version of this bait. And so far, this color has worked extremely well for me, and I like Crush City's as well. Obviously, having based a color off of that is definitely something I'm a big fan of. You can tell in the Crush City version that there is some gold, a little bit of purplish blue flake. My flake is more purple than blue, and I've got some gold flake in there as well. And on the bottom, I decided to do some silver flake in there. It kind of mimics this color that they have going down here. And I just wanted to show you kind of an up-close version of exactly what we'd be making today. One thing I would highly recommend if you're going to be doing very many laminates is to get you a cheap Walmart griddle. This is just a pancake griddle. Nothing fancy, but it is plenty good to do the job. I want to say it was $20 or $30 back when I bought it. It's been a little while ago. I don't know what they are now. But don't spend a lot of money on this. Just get you something decent that'll work. And I go ahead and turn it to warm. And then I set my mold that I'm going to be shooting over here into one corner. Then I take my blending block and I lay it with the flat side down. And then I take my dual injector. This is a bass tackle. If you're looking for a good dual injector, this is definitely a good one. You can lay it with the flat side of the brace here, down like that, and just let it heat up. There's no specific time I have for this, but I just get it warm while I'm over there working on getting the plastic hot, and it just helps everything flow so much better. You don't get stuff jamming up into the blending block. Your plastic's not cooling down super fast in your injectors, and if you're getting cold cracking in some of your molds, you'll see little crack looking lines going down your bait. Doing this with the mold will actually help solve that problem. A lot of people run into that, especially with open pores, but if you'll use the hot plate, you can kind of mitigate those issues. And this is one step that I would definitely not recommend skipping, and you're going to have a lot better results and an easier time doing your laminates. Here's a look at this first color. This is the top color, obviously, and what this is some bait plastics black, with one drop of green pumpkin brown, also from bait plastics. And then I have three different flakes here, and it is 0.015 of the Hex Chartreuse from bait plastics, 0.015 of the black from bait plastics, and 0.015 of the purple from bait plastics. And I'll give you the exact recipe for drops and everything down in the description. But this is that first color that we're going to be using. This next color we're going to be using, which is the bottom color, is a monkey milk from bait plastics and a little bit of silver mica powder. This is just some generic silver just a tiny bit of that, along with some of this 0.015 silver from Bait Plastics mixed in there just to give it some texture. And that is what we're working with. And I'll give you the description for this in the description as well. So now that we've got our colors to a consistent temperature, they're both about 320 degrees. The top color being a little bit warmer also makes for a nicer laminate, just the way that it kind of blends together. But these are close enough. Another thing to keep into consideration is the consistency of your plastic. Depending on what you're using to make colors with, you may have varied results depending on the thickness of the plastic. But we're going to pull some of this up. I like to shoot around that 320 mark. Seems to work pretty good for me. Make sure we have them on the right spots. And then we're just going to do our injection. On to the next one. And on to the last one. And then I usually just leave my blending block right there. And come over here and make sure you put the right color back in the right cup. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad day. Now that that's done, I will lift that off of there, and we will let this cool down, and we will check out some finished baits. Okay, let's do a little demold. This mold is freaking hot as heck. Let's see if we can get them to stick in one side here. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. They're going to want to stick in this top side. Okay, that is what it looks like. As you can see, we got some clean laminates there on the first attempt, and I do love that color. This is probably my favorite Gizzard Shad color yet. I know I've done several Gizzard Shad colors here on the channel, but this is the one that I'm kind of stuck with because it really seems like a good color. There it is. Before we put the eyes on it, that thing is super hot, but it is going to be hard to beat that color combo for a translucent shad. Not too bad. You can see the laminate line looks super good. I'm going to put that down because that is extremely hot. Pull out another one here. There we go. Beautiful laminates. And here is another one. Awesome. All turned out beautiful, along with what we would expect with the Epic molds. But yeah, that is some demolds. I'm going to shoot some more, and then we'll slap some eyes on these things and check them out a little more finished. You guys are going to get a little bonus demold because I need some more cheaters. So, oh, we got some sticking to the wrong side here. There we go. What an awesome set of baits there. This is hands down one of the most deadly baits that I've fished. And it is awesome on a Demolds rig, awesome on a bladed jig trailer, or even on the back of a spinnerbait. But I am a big fan of these, and I needed some more of these from my tackle box, so I thought, why not go ahead and shoot some while we got the colors mixed up. Here is a look at these colors in the Shadderbait. One of the best pairings with the Shadderbait that I have found. I consider it one of the perfect Shadderbait colors. And if you're trying to imitate Gizzard Shad, it is going to be really hard to beat that color. And I am just a big fan of those. Here is a look at them under some better lighting. I just think this is a great color to try out, especially if you are in a lake that has Gizzard Shad. If you're fishing a herring lake, you might want to mix it up a little bit. But if your lake has Gizzard Shad, I think this is definitely a color worth trying to make yourself. Last little up-close view of this bait. I use these look-down eyes. I got these on Amazon, and they are an 8mm eye. I do like that it pairs with the Chartreuse Flake in there. That Chartreuse Flake kind of has some golds in it, and it pairs nicely with that eye, and I think it is a good match for this bait. So that is just an up-close look, kind of give you an idea if you are thinking about making this color, what you can expect from all the different angles. I went ahead and used the hook slots in them because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to rig them yet, and I want to have the option. And I will have some of these on the store as well if you want to pick some of these baits up for yourself. Check out the cheater on the back of the spinnerbait that I got from Bobby D's Custom Baits. That is a beautiful pairing, and that's going to get eaten by about anything you swim that thing by. What an awesome shad imitator that is. Those pair so well together. I also have a jackhammer in the same color scheme, and it's going to work pretty stinking well too. That is absolutely awesome. What a beautiful spinnerbait that is. That is a look at some gizzard shad in the Shadderbaits. I hope you guys did enjoy that recipe. Recipes will be in the description below. I also have some of these baits on my website. The link to that will be in the description below. And if you want to pick up any of these molds, there'll also be a link to that in the description below. Just full of awesome links down there, so definitely check that out. Let's kick over and watch some footage, watch me catch some dinks, and let me know what you guys think of the camera angle and maybe the audio on the fishing clips, and we'll just see how it goes. So let me know what you think of the fishing footage and what we need to improve on that. And I'll do my best to make it happen. I'm definitely not a full-time fisherman, and I can't afford a camera guy, so we're just going to have to make it work. But let me know, and I will catch you guys in the next video. All right, guys, we are out here at one of my favorite lakes here. We're going to do some fishing. I've got a new powered GoPro pole here that I made. I went out and fished with the dice some, and my footage corrupted, caught some fish, and it was really a disappointment to get back when you realize that none of your footage saved, all my files corrupted, didn't get any video footage from that. But I formatted the card, did some test runs. I think it's going to work. But this is going to be just a test run. We're going to do some fishing. I've got some baits that I like here, as well as some from my friend Garrett at G-Sauce Lure Co. And we're going to go out and see if we can't catch some fish. That's the game plan today. Okay, guys, we're going to go down this bank here. It's rock and some wood, a little bit of mix. This is a finesse crankbait here. It is a flat side, doesn't have a huge action. Circuit board lip, pretty small. And this is a great way to catch fish in the fall. So that's what we're going to start with. We're going to go down this bank and see if we can't catch some fish. I don't know how many big fish we'll catch, but we will probably catch some numbers, I would imagine, on a crankbait like this. Draws a lot of bites and is a whole lot of fun. There's a little one, but hey, off the skunk board, I'll take it. What do we got? Hey, easy. Easy. Swinging at the back of it. Man, he's fiery. Dang, buddy, calm down. I know you thought it was a snack, but jeez. Sorry, I'm not the best dentist, but I will get you unhooked. There we go. Not too bad, little bitty dink. See if we can catch some more of them. There he is. They're just kind of swatting the back of it. I'm getting quite a few bites. They're just not really committing. It's probably like more of a color thing because they're wanting to hit it, but they're not just fully committed. Only problem is this is the only color of this exact crankbait that I own. Little spotted bass there. Very healthy fish, just not very big. Another little dink. They are hitting the very back of that thing. They do not really want to commit to that. We may have to do something different. That's a real good indicator that they kind of like it, but something's not right about it. So, another little bitty spot. They were wanting to hit the very back of that. I have a custom shad 1.5 inch crankbait that I got from Colorado Custom Lures, and we're going to tie this on and see if maybe going from that crawl pattern to the shad pattern will make a difference. I don't know if it will or not, but we're just going to try it, and then if not, we may go do some scoping to see if we can catch some bigger fish. Little Palmar knot there, one of my favorite knots. See if I can cut this slack off of here. Probably need some scissors for that. Alright, but we're going to try this really pretty crankbait and we'll just see if it works. Small one. If you're wondering if I'm throwing braid, the answer is kinda. I have braid to a leader here, and that's just, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that if you're trying to get the most depth out of your crankbait, but if you're just doing it for shallow fishing, it's fine. And as you can see, he kind of T-boned that one. That's a lot better. I've actually got both sets of treble hooks in him. So maybe that's a little bit of the color change they were looking for. It's just hard to say for sure until we catch a few more, but a little largy, back to where you go. There's one. Not a big one. Not a big one at all. Ski his little butt in here. He got the front hook too, so that's kind of telling me that they're liking this color better because they're not just hitting the back of it. There's another one. We just need some bigger size. We've got the numbers. I caught a 4-pounder doing this 2 days ago, but it was right at dark and it was quite windy. That fish hit the very back of it, so he's not a good indicator, but there's another one. I keep thinking we'll stumble into a better fish, but ain't found it yet.